Singh, Managing Directors of HARPS. Dr. Harpreet A.D. Singh, founder of HARPS, to escort Sister Sangeeta, Om Shri Acharya Naresh, Bhante Deepam Kara Sumedhu, who is the chairman. A big round of applause for all of them, please. Also, Ms. Sharavat from World Association of Women Warriors. Mohini ma'am, Mohini Sharaf ma'am. Please be seated. Mohini ma'am, please be seated. Miss Jasmine Singh, please come on the stage. Now I would request Dr. Harpreet Singh A.D. to gift a plant to Shrimati Indrajit Ahluwalia. Now gift a plant to Jasmine Singh. Sister Sangeeta, Acharya Om Shri Acharya Naresh, Bhanti Dipankara Sumedhu, and Miss Mohini Shroff. Now I would request Harpreet Singh ma'am to take over.
Namaskar, Sat Sri Akal, Assalamu Alaikum, Om Shanti, Father and Son, the Holy Spirit, Amen. We have this beautiful gathering of pure souls today, and we really welcome each one of you from the bottom of our heart for this beautiful gathering of people who have a divine vision to do the best for the world, to generate peace and happiness throughout. And this is not done only by going into the mountains and by leaving the world, but by integrating each and every aspect of spirituality in your daily life. Not only at a personal level, but at an organizational level, where you can see that when an organization with good leadership, with good management, and with good workers who all believe that we are like divine pure angels who can do so much for the society, where there are no boundaries and barriers of countries, of gender, of position, of hierarchy. We started this beautiful divine concept of angels of HARPS. There is no president, there is no prime minister here. Everybody simply is an angel. There is no position, only yes for the management, the managing directors, which are actually from my own family, my mother and my daughter. And I report to my daughter and I report to my mother. So my first learning is that I am a pure soul and they are pure souls. And it doesn't matter, senior, junior, it doesn't matter. Finally, it is with God's blessings and with a pure intention where it shows in your vibration, it shows in your connection with the Almighty. And when you do everything by surrendering to the will of the Almighty, everything moves positively, beautifully. And even when you have challenges in your day-to-day life, you experience them as a source of learning, as a source of a gift from the Almighty. Because when you get that gift, you say a difficult exam is only given to a good student, right? So that you can progress and you can take that spiritual jump. You can go higher and higher and higher. You can do the best for your world, for your family, for your own self, to make this planet a beautiful place. During the pandemic, we started a channel called Universal Prayers. And in this Universal Prayers group, we had multi-faith prayers happening every day, non-stop. And many of the angels and many of the good volunteers continued with that mission. And we brought in positive vibrations. So one is service, which you do physically in the world, which is also very, very important. We had Langar Seva by the Sikhs, we had Oxygen Seva, we had millions and millions of people being served by different religious communities, different spiritual bodies. They all came together. But what we also realized was that you needed a positive vibration. You need something where you set in with the one and only Almighty Lord. We may follow different paths, we may follow different ways of getting there, and we respect each and every one of them because they're all good, they're all perfect. It is what generates that little chord within yourself. And using that little chord, using that universal synergy, magic happens. Because when you put in your heart and soul into whatever you do without any expectation, I asked myself many times, why am I starting this organization? Is it to get recognition? Is it to be told, oh, she's doing a great job? Then my purpose is defeated. I don't want that kind of recognition. I actually want it to be seen in the vibrations and in the energy that you can bring along. And I've been involved in various spiritual journeys, and I've seen that many times it works in isolation of the real life. And the entire aim of HARPS was set up with the concept of integrated management systems. Give it a scientific, logical dimension on actually how do you process this to put it into your daily life. Because you will have a lot of lectures, lot of thoughts, I should be honest, I should be this, I should be that. But when it comes, in your day-to-day livelihood, in your day-to-day work functions, it can be sometimes challenging, where you just have to go with the flow. So how do you go with this flow? How do you manage to keep your integrity there? How do you manage to have that same pure divine mission within you, that you change them rather than they change you? You remain the powerful Supreme Soul's agent. You are the angel. You are spreading light and divinity. You can, through your vibration, transform their thoughts instead of you getting sucked in to the negativity which sometimes surrounds us. And the whole purpose of this conference came to my mind again when I was meditating one day, and I was kind of given a message that you need to put it into the real world through organizational strengths. Have a system in place that this will work. Many people are doing a lot of things, and I'm very, very minuscule atom there, trying to also contribute, but every drop counts. Every angel counts, right? Everyone has a role to play. It is a decision that you have to make that, yes, I am going to do it. It's just a simple thought, and that thought can change everything around you. And you learn to see people around you with much more acceptance, where you feel happy. And even if you're noticing certain weaknesses, which sometimes could be from previous lifetimes, sometimes could be the environment that they were brought up in, maybe the challenges that they had to face has made them what they are today. But with your positive vibrations, positive energy, you can actually transform. And even if they do not get transformed, you keep giving. You are the light. You are the sun that is only giving light. Clouds will come, clouds will go. The person who has to receive will receive. It's like a scientific, logical explanation that both side transmitters have to be on, right? So one side is giving, the other has to open to receive as well. Sometimes people don't open that, so they don't receive it. Then they say nothing is happening. So how do we learn how to open that channel so that we can receive it? And this may sound that this is like a spiritual conference, which it is, but the panel discussions are actually going to focus on how do we integrate this into our organizational work. So many organizations that are represented here today did a marvelous job during the COVID pandemic. Whether it was the NCC cadets, the Army, the Indian Air Force, the Indian Navy, everybody mobilized their resources. When we look at the airlines, the kind of effort that they put in, Air India Express, Indigo, Air Asia, Vistara, Blue Dart, everyone put in their best foot forward. They tried to get the vaccines organized. They made sure that they mitigated the risks of the COVID. They reached out to people all over the world and they tried to help in whichever way possible. So this is an organizational pure intention. So when I started this deviation of using this terminology, HARPS basically means Har se prem aur seva. Har means God. आप हिंदी में तो समझते ही हैं. हर का मतलब है भगवान. Universal, one and only. चाहे आप मुस्लिम हो, चाहे आप क्रिश्चियन हो, चाहे आप हिंदू हो, चाहे आप सिख हो या बुद्धिस्ट हो, लेकिन आपका एनर्जी वो एक ही सोर्स पर है, which is pure soul, the supreme soul and you the pure soul. So when we are talking about HARPS, when we thought about this word, हर से प्रेम और सेवा, हर के अच्छे दो मीनिंग आते हैं. हर का means God, हर also means हर एक से. तो आप सभी प्योर सोल्स हो, तो डिवाइन इज सिटिंग विद इन यू. आपने वो चैनल खोला नहीं है. एक्चुअली ही इज वेरी मच देयर, राइट? अगर वो खोल दोगे तो आपकी वो जो कनेक्शन है दैट विल रिमेन ऑलवेज देयर. सो यू ऑटोमेटिकली वर्क इन अ वेरी एलिवेटेड मैनर. सो हर से प्रेम और सेवा मीन्स ऑल्सो सभी से प्रेम और सेवा. दिस वॉज आवर लॉजिक व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड HARPS. And when I brought in the integrated management systems to give it a very logical management technique, that is what this conference is going to debate. The figure of infinity came to my mind because nothing ends. Everything is a cycle, right? So it goes up and then it goes down. You may have deviations in your organization. You may have energy drops in your personal lives. You may have energy enhancements at certain times, but it keeps coming back. So as long as you remember that it will come back, it is for you to have that thought that it will. And that thought is so powerful that it can change everything. And magic can be created in the whole world. It is only due to greed that we don't have proper distribution of resources in the world. It is only greed. If I can remove that one negative quality of greed, there is enough resource for everyone in the world. So actually it is just that thought. If you have a good leadership, you have a good prime minister, president in a different country who is with that kind of leadership, will automatically channelize the resources accordingly. And the aim of this conference is to bring in that kind of leadership. And leadership is not only at an organizational level, it is also at your personal level, right? So we say purity with leadership. So when I coined this word PSQ, pure soul quotient, what does it mean? In management jargon, we always use the word of IQ, intelligence quotient. How much of intelligence you have, how quickly you can assimilate, how can you use your logical brain, etc., which is of course extremely important in your daily lives, and we are not going to undermine it at all. And then came the logic of emotional quotient, EQ. Very important, teamwork, resource management, getting the team together, helping each other, the spirit of cooperation came in through emotional quotient. No team can be successful without a good EQ quotient. Based IQ is focused on knowledge, skills, experience, but emotional quotient is something which is different. You will find a good leadership, even if his IQ is not at the highest level, he still delivers the result better. Because there is a very good harmonious way of dealing with the group. So EQ becomes really, really relevant. But again, in one of my meditations, and when I was focused on pure soul, I got this intuitive guidance that you must harmonize this IQ, EQ with PSQ, which is pure soul quotient. A lot of people actually don't focus on this. How pure is your intention when you're at your workplace? How pure is your action? And how does it actually translate in helping people all around you is what you need to keep checking yourself. So we will be having later on a panel even on quality assurance. And I always say, since I'm also from the quality field in one of my areas of experience, you have all these checklists and you have all this compliance requirements. How much compliance checklist do you do on your own self? Did I comply with my commitment to pure soul quotient? Did I comply in the whole day today? What did I do that actually enhanced people, that enhanced my own level of purity. And that's how this whole concept came in of pure soul quotient. We will discuss that along through the panel discussions. Miri Piri was started by the sixth Guru, Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji. He realized when Guru Nanak started Sikhism, he brought in everybody together under one platform, saying there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim, everybody is divine, pure, everybody is welcome, we are all the same. And he brought in that kind of cohesive energy, and which carried on through langars and abolishment of the caste system, and the gurdwaras of the golden temples, etc., were made with the thought that the people who were considered scheduled caste, they were made to lay the stone of the gurdwara to show that we are all equal. When the King Akbar wanted to come and visit the Guru, he said, you first go and have langar sitting with the people who are seated on the ground. And the langar that is served doesn't ask you who you are, where are you from, but it is served just through volunteers. Today you don't even know the name of who's contributing the money, who is cooking, who is serving. Years and years and years of continuous commitment, service, right? And now when we take it to the next level, when Guru Har Gobind Singh Ji was there, and there was a lot of war and strife, he realized people lived in fear. They were not willing to lay down their lives because they are body conscious. For a pure purpose, laying down your life is divine, if it is meant to help people. And when there was a certain religion being forcibly converted into another religion, these are times where they came in and realized you need Miri Piri. You need temporal power and spiritual power going hand in hand. And that's how they created that warrior force of the Khalsa. Khalsa means pure. The meaning itself people do not know. A lot of people don't know what does Khalsa mean. Khalsa means pure. So it is the pure who are going to be the kings. That is the meaning. But people are not that much aware, that's why I highlighted that. So I picked up the Miri Piri as a concept of HARPS, that we will build in an energy of temporal world and spiritual world in harmony, without fear, with courage, and bring it to the front where you have courage to do the right thing. Today you don't need to have weapons to do the right thing. Gandhiji came in with a beautiful, pen is mightier than the sword. You can use your thoughts, you can use your energy, you can fight, but in a different way, right? So that is the modern way of fighting. The Buddhists so beautifully letting go of all your desires and letting go of all this body consciousness which automatically connects you. And the Muslims so beautifully in the one Allah, the belief in the one Allah, the 5 times of prayers a day as a reminder that do not forget the Almighty. Similarly in the Hindus and the Sikhs, the Amrit Vela, very popular. And now we have also the Brahma Kumaris, beautiful woman energy, both men and women, but the women are in the prime front. If you notice, there are more leadership is with the women, because the women are naturally blessed, like Durga Ma, with all the powers of love and energy at the same time. So you can have the purity and the sweetness in the goddess Saraswati and the goddess Lakshmi and the goddess Parvati, but you also have the powerful Durga Shakti. So when to use which power, the sisters have really developed it in a very, very nice way. And the meditative techniques of Raj Yoga are so good, so enhancing. And when I started doing the meditation as taught by the sisters, I really felt that I was improving. And therefore, I also recommend that we must follow whichever faith we are following fully, but also keep doing your self-checking, and are you really making progress, which we don't do at times. And that's very important when we talk about integrated management systems. And Lord Krishna from ancient times has spoken about Karma Yoga. ancient. Karma Yogi is a more popular term which most people, at least in India, are familiar with. Therefore, I spoke about it a little later because I knew you already know this. Karma Yogi is like in action, in thoughts, in powerful, whatever you do, it is dedicated to the Almighty. When you do service before expectation of any positive result in turn, without expectations when you give, you're a Karma Yogi. And Raj Yogi uses the mind-body power together, uses the power of thoughts, the power of vibrations. You're the king, you're the master. Everything you have to decide, I do it today and now. I am a powerful soul. I am a pure soul, I am a powerful soul. Nobody can defeat that energy when you've made up your mind. You will not get sucked into that negativity. So I've spoken for long, a little bit, just to introduce the theme because a lot of people were actually very curious. What does this really mean? What are you trying to do? So this is not me. This is actually, I would say, it's God's, I'm a God's messenger like all of you are. And when you really, truly connect to your inner self, you will get guidance. And I'm just following that guidance. And I don't want any applause or any such thing. I'm not doing it for that. I'm very clear about that. I'm a worker, I'm a pure soul, and I'm an angel of HARPS. And that's where it ends. And I just want to devote my life into helping, into serving, into trying to help in this integrated management system concept so that we can actually change the world. And we can. I'm 100% sure of that. However small the effort, that effort counts. And it slowly grows. I did not expect when one day the meditative session ke baad we have this little discussion and sister was there and she asked me, Aapka lakshya kya hai aaj? How the thought came to my mind, I said, Mera lakshya hai ki I'm going to start an organization called, maine aise hi bol diya. Within 1 week it was launched because it was just the power of your thought. If your thought is like this, it's going to happen. This conference is happening with the power of that thought. Ki ye karna hi hai. That's it. Ho gaya. Thank you so much for that. But like I said, your energy is very powerful, right? So this theme of this whole conference on Karma Yogis and Raj Yogis and business with pure soul quotient, because the moment you use the word business, people think of money, people think of profitability, and people think of balance sheet and accounts, which is also very important because you have to live in this real world. And that is why the Miri Piri concept of temporal world and spiritual world, Karma Yogi, Lord Krishna did all what he had to do in this real life, right? To do what he had to do. So you can still do what you have to do. You don't have to stop earning, you don't have to go to the forest, you don't have to leave everything. You try to create that magic in what you are doing. And that is what is the theme of this whole conference. So all the airlines that are here, the defense forces that are here, the Airport Authority of India, the Indian Oil, and a lot of other pure soul organizations that are sitting here who agreed to come and speak because they believe in the concept. We have Dr. Ram Prakash here who survived the World Trade Center. He will be talking later in the day on billion way of being happy. We have a colonel here, Colonel Tiwari, who's already so much into the spiritual journey. We have Mr. Lal over here, who's done so much for organ donations. You will have a cardiologist shortly joining us. The kind of support and the kind of energy that these people have put into their daily lives is what you need to listen to. Viral Bhai has started Let's Make a Difference. You will listen to him in the afternoon. He changed the youth. I have attended his training. And I attended it more than once because I felt it was very good. I learned. I go wherever I learn because I'm a learner. I will never think I know everything. That can never happen. Wherever you go, you pick up something, right? And thank you for coming here, all of you. And all the aviation people who are really, really involved in doing service, which sometimes is not even announced anywhere. In the call of duty, everybody knows about the defense forces much more. But the civil aviation, and therefore I thank Ms. Moini Shroff And all the IWPA members here, they're collaborating with us to do this conference. You know, when a pilot is holding that $1 million aircraft in his hand, and if he's not stable from inside, in a crisis, in a 1-second split decision, he's not going to take the right kind of decisions. It's a good example of how you can use your emotional, stable consciousness when we all believe in one consciousness, right? Similarly, the engineer in the background, in 30 minutes when he's turning around that aircraft, if he makes mistakes, errors, or if he loses his patience and starts shouting at everyone around him, he will reduce the energy of the people around him, and there could be an unsafe environment that he gets into, right? So there could be so many such situations in daily life which can be compromised. By the way, this is not a prepared speech. I never prepare a speech, never, because I feel it doesn't come from the heart. I don't know what I'm speaking. I'm just speaking the concept of what I had thought I had developed, and it's not me, it's the Almighty, and the Almighty's grace and vision which I want to introduce. I'm just a worker here, and now I've spoken enough. I would like to first give the introduction of Mohini Shroff, because IWPA is doing this jointly with us, and just say a few words. She's more than 80 years plus, and look at her spirit. She goes for a walk. She's still very, very, very energetic, because she believes in a principle, and she is the founder member of our Indian Women Pilots Association.
Thank you, Harpreet. I am honored to be here, and I really don't know how I can thank all of you to have an odd one here. But may I tell you that I also believe in spiritualism, and I do say that every day is going to be a better day for me. And I only pray that I should remain fit and I should not be a burden on the society. That's what it is about. And I listen to the Brahmakumaris and I listen to the other discourses on the YouTube sometimes. And the Brahmakumaris promote Sankalp se Srishti. That's the main. And then I can just tell them that they are doing an awesome job, and I thank Harpreet for inviting me here. Thank you.
So when we believe the Indian Women Pilots Association, also along with the other men organizations, the He for She members and many others, we've tried to promote not only the women, but we tried to promote the concept of happiness, stability in whatever work you're doing. And we have an MOU signed with IWPA, and that is how we are doing this conference jointly today. And later on, we will also be talking about the World Association of Women Warriors. We have Ms. Shehwar. We will introduce her after the inaugural session. And they are also now supporting us in this divine energy mission. So you can see that slowly the energy is spreading, vibrating, and the message is going from one to the other. And sisters have always been very supportive of HARPS. In fact, they have come many times, and we did a full session in Alliance Air when I was the CEO of Alliance Air. I will just take one more minute as an experience. We did so much for the vaccination time, and reaching the small cities is always a challenge, and converting that aircraft into a cargo aircraft and then trying to reach the small cities was a challenge, but everybody was meditating every day. We did the full Raj Yoga course of 7 days in the entire Alliance Air. And a lot of people came forward and started supporting. And that is the energy that is required. And I will speak about one organ example a little later when you are speaking.